All right, for our bonus segment here, we're going to show you how to shoot tethered. And I mentioned that, of course, and I did that actually in the bonus clip that started this whole class off. So here's how you do it. It's got a couple different things to it. It depends on, chances are you're shooting Nikon or you're shooting Canon, right? So those are the two big brands, and most people shoot one of those two brands. And both of those companies have a piece of software that you need that lets you go between your camera and the bridge, or in Lightroom, either one you want. And for Nikon, it's the Camera Control Pro, and the latest version is called Camera Control Pro 2, which is what I'm going to be using here. And Canon, you'd use the Canon EOS Viewer software. Basically, it all starts with you connecting a cable to your camera. It's the USB cable that came with your camera. So if you look in the box where your original box, you'll find this cable and you go, I always wondered what to do with that cable. Now you know. It plugs into the USB port of your computer, and then the other end plugs into your camera. All right, then what? Then you're going to launch your software. Well, I've got the Nikon Camera Control Pro right here, and as soon as you plug in your camera, it recognizes your camera, and it sees their Nikon D300 is connected. And you can actually shoot and autofocus and do everything here from the camera, but that's not what we're going to do. All we want this to do is take our photo and throw it into a folder on our desktop, and we're going to target that folder in the bridge. And here's how. Let's just go back out to the desktop for just a minute. Let's go to the Finder, and we're going to create a brand new folder. We'll just right-click and choose New Folder. This works the same way in Mac or Windows. Doesn't matter. You just create a new folder. We're going to call this Watched. So this is now a Watched folder. Anything that goes into this folder is going to show up in the bridge. But first, you have to go to your camera control, or on Canon, your EOS viewer. Go and find where your download options are, and we're going to choose that folder. So the images that are downloaded from this will actually go, let's go to my desktop, go to Watched, and click Open. So now it's watching that. Anything that goes into that folder, we're going to target it so it opens up in the bridge. And we don't need to use file name. When the image is done, do nothing. That's it. Easy. Click OK. That's all the thing you have to do is just choose your watched folder. That's it. So now when I take an image, it's going to pop in there. So now so let's go ahead and show that first. Let's show that just that. So I'm going to grab my camera here. I'm just going to turn around here and just shoot a copy. I got a football helmet in here. So we'll go ahead and shoot one. Handheld and low light. This ought to look beautiful. Anyway, so it's downloading the image. Just going to put it in that folder. That's it. All right, so if we go over in that folder, there it is. There's the image that I just shot with the camera just this minute. Now, that being said, let's go and take that folder over here and just target that in the bridge. Just drag and drop it down onto your bridge icon, or you can just go and open it, and there's the folder. So now when you shoot an image, it doesn't go into your camera. It goes right here, and you can see it absolutely at huge, giant, mega size. And because I didn't change any of these settings in my camera, I just kind of picked it up and shot it as is, you can see it needs a horrendous color correction. But as we shoot new images, they will appear now automatically inside this folder. Let's go ahead and take a couple more. I'm just going to turn around, and we're going to shoot the same helmet, but we'll shoot it from maybe a little bit of a different angle. Here's this, so you can see it's a different shot. And maybe one more. Let's try to zoom in a little bit more. Maybe just this one's going to zoom in on the logo. And you can see the images are starting to populate inside there. And then to look at the different images, you just use the up and down arrow keys on the keyboard to go right where you want. If you want to edit one of these, just double click on it. Or in fact, you can do this whole thing in the bridge. Just press Command R on Mac or Control R on PC. It opens right up. There you go. Get your white balance tool and just click. And it looks a little, there we go. It's a little bit better. And then click Done. Now, you can also open multiple images at one time if you want. If you click multiple images like this, press Command R, all three of the images open up in the bridge at the same time. So what you could do is you could say make your changes to this one. So let's go ahead and just process this real quick. Bring this up a little bit. We'll bring up the blacks. Not so much. Add a lot of clarity, right? We can really hammer that. And we'll bring up the vibrance just a little tiny bit. There we go. So if we like the way the image is looking, you hit select all. It selects the other two photos, and we're going to synchronize everything. We want to just everything that we did, have it apply to the other ones. And boom, it just applies to the other two and corrects them. So it's the multi-image workflow right there. So that's it. That's how you shoot tethered. It's very, very easy. And once you start shooting directly into your computer, especially if you're using a laptop like on location, and you get used to seeing your images really, really large, for example, we could make these images here. Let's just choose one of them. All right. Really large. Like that. Now you're talking. Seeing your images at just a huge, huge size, you can really make determinations on things being in focus and things like that. And I can see now that this photo is not tremendously in focus. I handheld in really low light, and you get what you get. All right. Well, there it is, our little bonus segment on how to shoot tethered directly into the bridge.